Jane Addams was very progressive for the time in which she lived. She believed in equal rights for both women and blacks and helped organize several groups to reach this goal, one of which was the NAACP. Jane was also passionate about helping others, and because of the Hull House, she has earned the title as Mother of Social Work in America. Although Jane is most widely known for this, the Hull House is but one accomplishment in a life lived to the fullest of procuring change in many different aspects while also overcoming life's challenges. Jane Addams was born on September 6, 1860 in Cedarville, Illinois to a rich family. When Jane was young, she developed Pott's disease, or tuberculosis of the spine, and it left her with a limp and a crooked spine for the rest of her life. This could have caused Jane to live her life as an invalid, but she didn't let her ailment stop her. Growing up, Jane's father implanted a deep sense of social responsibility into her. In 1881, Jane graduated college and went to medical school to study medicine and become a doctor to help the poor. However, after a surgery on her back, Jane had to drop out of medical school. Once again, she didn't let this stop her, and she decided to find another way to help the poor, and the thing she was looking for came in a magazine, prompting a trip to England in late 1887. While Jane was in England, she visited Toynbee Hall, a community center. Jane loved the idea, and when she went back to America, she started a community center of her own, the Hull House. On September 18, 1889, in Chicago, Jane Addams, with the help of Ellen Gage Starr, opened the very first settlement house in America, the Hull House. The idea of the settlement house was to give poor citizens and immigrants a place to live, learn, and work, and it was all run by women. What made the settlement houses unique was that the women who worked there also lived there. At the Hull House, children could go to school or daycare, and immigrants could learn English and cooking to help them integrate into American society. Not only this, but settlement houses had gyms, job placement bureaus, art galleries, and community centers. Although the establishment of the first settlement house in America was a success, Jane Addams didn't stop there. She continued to try to reform society and helped lobby for a juvenile court system, a system in which juveniles would be tried separately, and it became reality. Along with this, she advocated for labor rights, including better conditions for women and children. In 1907, Jane Addams helped establish the National Child Labor Committee, which was instrumental in passing the federal child labor law in 1916. Jane was also the leader of an initiative to help establish a school of social work in the University of Chicago, which gave women a whole new choice of profession. Moreover, Jane was the first woman to be the president of the National Conference of Charities and Corrections, and she held that spot from 1909 to 1915. Additionally, Jane helped establish the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP, an organization for racial equality that still exists today. Even though the Hull House is one of her most well-known accomplishments, it is definitely not the only one. After World War I broke out, Jane saw that she needed to be an international peacekeeper. As a pacifist, Jane protested America's involvement in World War I, which earned her some criticism. She didn't stop, however, and with other pacifist women, she toured the countries at war and tried to bring peace among them. In 1915, she helped to establish the Women's Peace Party and later became the president of the International Congress of Women. In 1926, Jane suffered a heart attack, and although she survived, she never fully recovered. However, just like earlier in life, Jane didn't let this stop her from doing what she felt she needed to do. Jane was the president of the Women's International League of Peace and Freedom, which she helped establish in 1919, and served until 1929. She then served as honorary president until she passed away in 1935 due to cancer. In 1931, Jane was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts toward peace. Being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize is already a grand achievement, but what makes Jane stand out is that she was the first American woman to receive this honor. It is easy to see that Jane Addams was an incredible woman. She has many exceptional accomplishments to her name, including the Hull House, countless reform organizations, and many others. However, these deeds aren't the only thing that makes Jane Addams so important. What makes Jane special is that she never gave up, and she pushed through all the setbacks life threw at her. From losing her mother at a young age and later developing Pott's disease, to the hate she got for her efforts at keeping peace in the midst of war, to surviving a heart attack and continuing to work, even when she couldn't make a full recovery. Jane Addams is an inspiration, not just for her acts, but also for her determination to do good in the world.